Estoy con Jon Hughes, él es el director de las carreras Disney, Run Disney, y tiene algunas ideas que compartir con nosotros. John, you know, in real estate, the single biggest asset is usually location, location, location,
Yes.
right? What would you say is the equivalent for a race?
So that's very well put too. And of course the location actually can be very important because some races, their destination, we call it destination race. New York City, Boston, Chicago, the iconic cities in the United States. And you can also have an iconic, in the case with Run Disney, theme park.
Right.
You know, best known in the world, biggest entertainment company in the world. And so to be able to actually go and run through the different theme parks at Disney, that actually is part of it. It's that location because it's right there. But obviously, for Disney and for other events, there are other reasons why people will come. With Disney, it's the entertainment they get out there, as well as at Disney, as you know, you can be a kid, so people dress up. And so there are many other reasons, both with Disney and other races around the world. But location is a good one.
Okay. And I'm sure you have heard all kinds of stories throughout the years. Some of them are even inspiring. Is there any particular story that has, you have kept for this whole time that has inspired you in some way?
Another good question, because I have been the race director for Disney for all 27 years. I have been directing races for over 40 years. And I will tell you that there are many stories. I can tell you many stories
You could
of
be
people,
here all day long.
right, that overcame this or that. But what is so, to me, still so, I don't know, motivating, inspiring, encouraging. Every time I see a person cross the finish line, and it does not matter if it's 5 kilometers or the full marathon, when they cross the finish line and you see them break down and cry, you realize it's a life-changing experience, and that never gets old.
Wow. And what kind of advice would you give to someone who has just started running or even hasn't started yet, but is willing to?
2 things. Start out slow. Just don't do too much too soon, okay? Because then you won't, be happy. You'll get frustrated. So just go around the block. Do 400 meters the first time, and just gradually build up. The other, and this may sound funny, but it's so true, a good pair of running shoes. That is the most important equipment that you need. You can wear old shorts, t-shirt, but you must have a good pair of running shoes because if your feet hurt, you're not going to do it. Yeah.
In the same sense, but business-wise, what recommendation would you give to someone who's starting to organize a race?
Similar in some ways as far as starting slow. Don't think and don't try to do a 5,000 person race the first time. Do a 200 to maybe 500 person race, something really small and local so that you can understand the entire process, because it is very involved, from getting permits to procuring the t-shirts, the awards, the refreshments, security. There are many pieces to this puzzle, and if you try to do something too big too quickly, it's just like trying to run too far and too fast.
I've heard that an event producer, an event manager, is one of the most stressful jobs out there, right? So how do you manage this stress? How do you keep going when the going gets tough?
Yeah. Well, would you believe I'm 23? So look, I mean, I used to have dark hair, full beard, black hair. So it is very stressful. And I was reminded of that just 2 weeks ago. We produced the 27th Walt Disney World Marathon weekend. And on Marathon Day, we had some challenges with traffic getting to the start over at Epcot. That's where we start at Disney World. And we also had challenges because it was a very hot day, and we had to make some decisions toward the end of the race. And they are very stressful. I think it takes perhaps a certain attitude and just kind of your makeup that you can't let it affect you too much. I think when I was younger, it probably affected me more and I would get very upset. Now I realize surround yourself with a very good team, have your plans ahead of time that you know what you're going to do. If this happens, you do this. If this happens, you do this. It's still stressful, but you can manage it.
What was your biggest challenge on your career, and how did you overcome it?
There's been so many. Gosh, I think, I know. One of the biggest challenges is when we had to actually cancel a large event. And that was very difficult and stressful. But what we did is we tried to get in front of it, as I say, ahead of it, and let people know what was happening, be very transparent, and make the best of a very bad situation. So, but I think that's one of the, as an event director, probably one of the worst things you have to do or could ever do is to cancel an event.
Right.